Alex. Alex, some of you may know as Lord of Winter 1 from chat. Long time sub. Member of the TTR Honors Club. Or something, I don't know what we call it. Yeti has put on an amazing event. This is by far the best run Keyforge event we've been to. Everything's been very smooth. It started on time, which is a first for us. The organizer, Vince, has been very good about emphasizing how great Keyforge is and how diverse and fun it can be in a tournament. He seems very passionate about running these tournaments, so I'm excited about Vault Tours and tournaments in the hands of Yeti for sure. Eric's back.
And we're back. I have lists. Well, we had one list already, but...
So we have an Alex list?
We have an Alex list.
Okay, so logos.
Okay, so Alex has a logos list with Igor, Sutterkin, Deathquark, Eureka, Redacted, Harlan Minelock?
Eureka.
Yes, Eureka Redacted is very interesting.
Yeah.
Martian Generosity, of course, we mentioned that before. And a Sanctum run-up that has no Obades, Double Board in the Redeemed, a Unifier, Barrister Joya, which could be very key. The Joya could be very key in trying to stop Martian Generosity.
3 Mars first and the Martian Generosity deck. 3.
Oh, I did not see that.
2 Mars needs Amber.
Okay, that's dumb.
But
No proliferator. Right.
Yeah.
Still.
2 Beam Bucklers though.
Still, Mindworm. I guess you would.
Well, first is good.
It's good, yeah. I mean, you can't unless you run into elusive guys.
It's even better with Mindworm, Mars firsting it, and then Mars needs Ambering on the damage creatures to the left. So you can deliberately attack a low power creature that's got big power neighbors.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. He's got 1 lab work in Logos. He's got he's got a director in Logos.
Since Lord of Winter is on the right, is he Justin now? No, he will never replace me.
That's right. What's it?
I'm usually on the right side.
Oh, are you? I see. Well,
If
Nathan
he beats,
and I had a conversation about trading you for me, so you can be on our team now. And
Okay.
I'm gonna go and where are you guys based out of? The East Coast, I know. So apparently I'm moving to South Carolina and playing a bunch of IRL Worlds Collide.
Have fun with that.
But yeah, you guys are an amazing team. I never do that.
But if Alex defeats Nathan, then he will officially take Nathan's place. That's how this works.
Oh,
it's like
well,
a survival of the fittest type
Oh
situation.
well, so this is like Highlander.
Yeah, it's like Highlander.
It's
There
like
can only be
Highlander.
one.
Oh well, okay.
It is tabletop royale. There can only be one.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Or
like
2.
Battle
There
Royale.
could only be 2
Yeah.
specifically.
It's like the rule of 2 from the set.
Yeah.
Oh, we all love Snufflegator here. There's our store link if you like that Snufflegator shirt. Just saying.
You guys have Snufflegator shirts?
Yeah, the one Nathan's wearing right now.
Oh, that's your shirt you made? Oh, that's pretty sweet.
That's our emote. It's right there.
I gotta check. All right, I gotta check that out definitely.
TTR Final Sword winner is not wearing his other team shirt. He actually is wearing his other
He
team
is.
shirt.
You just can't tell. He's got the jersey
He
on.
is. No, I actually have not lost to Alex, and Alex has not beaten Nathan either. So we haven't been rule of 2'd out of it, not yet. I lost to George. George is in my power, so technically George is me right now.
Oh, that's true. Well,
But Nathan defeated
let me
George,
tell
so
you.
then Nathan is me.
George seems like a pretty good strategist. So I don't know.
Actually, I would
Then
highly
Nathan
agree with
became you, so Nathan is both him and
that. Yeah,
you.
because George defeated me, and then Nathan defeated George, so Nathan has my power as well at this point.
So he's both you and him.
Maybe that's too much power. It's overload.
I think no one man should have all that power.
I would agree.
All right.
Yeah, I mean the shirt's available to anyone. You don't have to like us or watch us. It's just a cool shirt. We tried not to put our logo on any of our
Well, that's why. I mean, that's
emote shirts just
that's
to like have them out there.
interesting, Yeah, I like it.
We don't talk about the 5th movie here. Nathan is both Justin and Nathan. That's correct. Currently.
Interesting.
He's still talking about strategy. Listen, Nathan, he can't stop talking.
It's
Hopefully he's not talking about his
The
deck.
thing is, he's used to during a game
Yep.
having conversations with his opponent
True.
about how he's beating to face it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a thing that he's used to doing.
And
Okay,
Lord
so
Winter is
Alex
first.
is drawn first. And here we go with the finals
Good luck to both.
of the Richmond Vault Tour.
Exciting.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Some generosity on generosity violence.
Okay. Alex is looking. I think he has Martial Generosity in hand. Or he's Mulligan. Okay. Maybe it wasn't that, though.
2 moles.
I'll have to go back and watch that George interview. I'm really interested to
So
see.
yeah, I
really
highly
wanna
recommend
watch
it.
that.
I learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
And I've been playing this game a lot. I'm not saying I'm any good at it, but I've been playing this game a lot, and that is not a strategy I've ever seen in AOA, and that was very impressive.
And I think his is kind of a fresh take because he probably hasn't played as much as both of us.
He's
Right.
not even close. Like
No.
he said this is like basically the first. He said he used to play competitive card games in, I think, kindergarten or grade school. Like, sure, he played like Pokemon or I don't know, Hearts or something.
So it takes like a fresh set of eyes sometimes to
It really
see
does.
things that we're laser focused on one strategy, whereas we
Right.
might not see this other.
That's
strategy.
totally correct. And it's not just a fresh set of eyes. It's a fresh set of eyes that comes with a very strategic mind. And it's very apparent when you talk to him and watch the interview. He is a deep thinker about this game. He took all of 1 round to find that strategy
Yeah, he learned his lesson.
with his deck, and that's incredibly impressive.
This is Nathan of our
The only
channel.
Nathan this is Nathan of TTR.
Our TTR, yeah.
This is I don't know, Starlight?
Starwall.
Starwall. I always want to call him Starlight. I don't know why.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. Either way, it's a cool name.
Yeah, it is cool. All right, we're not paying attention to the game. So Redacted came down, right?
Oh yeah, Redacted turn 1. Oh, no,
War chest.
this is super good.
Wall up.
War chest
Discarding
wall.
cowards.
All right, so both players playing artifacts that I was going to say integral to the game. I guess Nathan doesn't really need War chest, but War chest does do some work if Alex decides to play creatures.
But that Redacted will probably forge a key because I don't think Nathan has any artifact
Yeah.
removal.
Well, let's check the list. I think you're right,
Lord
but I'll
Winter
confirm.
Called Logos puts a token on the Redacted and plays a Eureka. Very strong play.
Yeah, you're correct. He doesn't have any way to remove that.
And archives 2 of his cards. I think he got all his Logos cards from the looks of it. If he had any others. The bracket was set up by my co-host here, Eric, of
Yes.
Team SAS, aka Justice Blinded.
Yes, thank you.
Does a great job with the challenge brackets for all the Vault Tours.
I've gotten kind of used to it. I've got to the point where random people in Europe occasionally message me in the middle of their European tours at 5 in the morning, like, "Hey, who am I playing next round?"
You're like,
that's
"I don't
always
know."
that's always entertaining. No, actually, I usually do know.
Well, there you go.
In D2 anyway.
So Nathan just swindles there, which is pretty strong after Eureka.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he still gets the card archiving card draw, but it's still
Alex calls Logos again. Plays
work.
Lab
So
work.
he's got a lot of card archiving in this. Well, enough card archiving in this deck. To make it
Archives.
interesting.
It looked like another Logos card.
I'm not sure. I didn't see.
Thinking about it? Puts it back.
Interesting.
Passes. He's drawing his 2. So he's not looking at his cards until his turn.
So that's interesting. I haven't. Maybe I need to start doing that. I haven't picked up that approach. I have started doing the thing he does with card draws, which is lay him out on the. I think that's the best approach.
Just in case.
It would avoid a unfortunate situation that we saw with Ben in the quarterfinal, where Ben drew only once, but drew 1 too many cards, and had his only Amber Control removed out of his hand.
So
Involuntarily.
it is the look at the hand and then pick a card to put back. Is that the rule?
Yeah, look at the hand. Opponent picks the number of cards you've overdrawn, so usually just 1, and shuffles it back in the deck. But it's extremely powerful because your opponent then knows the entire contents of your hand in addition to picking the best card. Like it's almost like playing the lateral shift. Like it's
exactly the same thing.
Yeah, except that you don't get the benefit out of the card, but you still remove the best card out of their hand. So
Alex is deciding once he wants to. It's going to Sanctums at a blinding light for shadows, I assume.
I would assume so. I guess he could stun the wall up, but the shadows is probably right.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm about to give them some stun tokens.
Seriously,
Those are
I'm like, hey, hold on. Those OG stun cards.
Grey Rider by himself. Healing Blast for an Amber.
Blast just for an Amber.
Let's see what that was. But I think he
These
just
cards are off screen. So.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, back to 6. Pass this to Nathan. I think Alex is building for that big generosity turn right now. I believe it's in his hand.
Yeah, it's almost kind of what they're both doing. I don't see if does Nathan have.
I can't tell.
I can't see it either. He's got some Mars cards in hand. He's going to call Shadows and Unstun.
Dust Chronicles will archive.
Draw card.
It'll archive.
Oh, archive, right? Because he now has more. Yep. The real feel bad with Dust Chronicles is
when it
when
does nothing.
we amber to exactly equal.
Yeah.
That's the real feel bad.
Has he archived yet, or is he deciding?
I think he's thinking.
Deciding. Okay. Yeah, it's not great when it draws most of the time. It's usually drawing out of house, but sometimes you need an out.
Right. Archiving in majority, I don't know the exact percentage, but in majority of cases, archiving is usually better, especially early game, than drawing cards. Because you also are going to draw the cards at the end of the turn, but unless you're fishing for an answer at that moment, and even then the percentage is usually very low.
Alright, plays a fixed finger. Plays Marsh vs. Raise Reaps. Goes to 5 amber. Plays
another Mars
vs. Raise Reap. Goes
He
to
does
7
have,
amber.
he has 3.
Yes, they have
This
3.
is
Yeah.
like his Mars. This is probably some of his best value for Mars versus just reaping, just because he doesn't have proliferate.
There's his third Marsh vs.
Oh, well, he plays all.
I think this is Martian Generosity time.
If he's got it, it's definitely time.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Okay.
It's 20 cards.
Fasten your seatbelts. 20. There it is. 20 cards.
Alex is definitely deliberately limiting tells by not looking at hand and fidgeting.
The casual 20 card draw in Vault Tour Finals.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That moment when you have to create
Stacks
4
of 5.
piles of 5 cards that you're drawing.
That's entire deck. Exactly his entire deck.
We saw that from Nathan last round.
Yeah.
It's the casual entire deck draw. Yeah, you should probably. Assuming you drew some Mars cards, you might want to wait on that. Probably want to play Beambuckler to kill the Spy Master, I would imagine.
I guess the big thing here is that he had to use all 3 of his Mars firsts and didn't draw back into them.
True.
So he doesn't have like a Martian.
But again, he doesn't have Proliferator, so it's like his triggers on Mars.
And he does have 2 Mars Needs Ambers, and he doesn't have a great way. I think he can Beambuckler.
He could Beambuckler Lollop. Yeah,
that's
gonna
happening
get
right
some
now.
value there.
Yeah. They killed a Gamgee and put 2 on Lollop. He's going to probably play 2 Mars Needs Ambers to stack 2 Amber on the Lollop. Get 2 Amber. Play Carpet Fox.
Yeah. More Amber?
Goes to 3.
Amber's good, I hear.
It's alright. That's alright.
Does things.
Kind of necessary. Only slightly. Plays another Fixed Finger. Plays a Mindwarp.
So how many of these creatures are actually Martians that are on board? They're all from Mars, but except for
Mindworm is a beast.
Mindworm's a beast. The rest are all Martian.
Yeah.
Okay, so those Fixed Fingers are going to do some work.
Nate's gonna say Brobnar. He'll play First Blood, which will do 2 damage. It might not. Okay, Grey Rider dies. Okay. I could have also killed Mindworm, but plays
Signal Fire.
Signal Fire. Also interesting is that Alex did not threaten on his follow up.
Yeah, I don't think he possessed the ability to. Yeah. But he's got what 2 counters unredacted there?
Yes.
Okay, so that'll definitely forge. He's gonna fight into what was that?
One of the Fixed Fingers.
One of the Fixed Fingers?
No, it was a Beambuckler? Okay, it was a Beambuckler.
Ganger into a Fixed Finger. Into a Beambuckler. Still not dead.
Wallop is a 10
Wallop
damage
is
now.
very big.
War Chest gets 2. It goes to 6.
Yes, War Chest. Yes. And he says, this is the thing. Anytime you go to check with 6, either of these decks, and you haven't already seen Generosity, you're basically saying, do you really want to take me off check? Right? Because if you do, and I have Generosity in hand, I'm going to draw the deck. Yep. Right? So, do you want to risk that? And I guess sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. But
I hope one of these games, at least, it has both of them going off.
Yeah.
with generosity.
Well,
I don't know what happens.
It's entirely possible that game is this game.
It could be. I don't
Because
know
if Nathan has it in hand, then if he takes him off Jack, calls Logos, I think.
He's thinking about it.
Calls Logos gets counter.
I don't know if Logos. Oh, he painted a 3.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
a 3.
it's a 3. Yeah.
I don't know if Logos can threaten this turn for him. If it can, I think it's an easy call.
It's got bouncing Death Mark, so we can threaten by
I mean,
taking that Amber.
He does have like all Logos cards, so maybe. He can't take that 2 Amber yet, so we would just need one
One
more Amber.
downside of Martian Generosity deck, as far as I can tell, Igor does nothing. You've already drawn the whole deck.
His deck is empty. It's got nothing.
Yes. Now, if you have
Which
a
it
way
is.
just to play literal anything that draws a card, you can turn up your discard pile. But does he have a discard pile?
He does. Yeah, he does.
Is it off screen?
It's off screen.
Okay.
That's
Mind Lock.
What does that take? Dynamo?
Take Spy Master.
Yep.
Mind Lock Spy Master, then you get to use a Mars card for free.
Pretty good.
Mind Lock Spy Master, run Mind Worm into something.
Takes Chieftain.
Chieftain. Oh, he's trying to cut down on the combo. Interesting. So then what? Okay, that's interesting. So you have to assume Mind Lock. Well, he's got bouncing Death Mark in hand, so he can kill the other threats on the board. That's actually very interesting. Although Nathan is not known to have recursion.
This Nathan is not Sky Jedi.
This, I think we need like a headshot.
Yeah. No, Nathan doesn't post much in Discord, except for in our Discord.
Yeah. Which you definitely should join. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm on the
I'll
TTR Discord. Yeah, definitely put the TTR link in the Discord. Yes. Normally, cast from TTR would be well, Nathan would
Myself
be sitting here,
and
right?
Nathan,
It would
yeah.
be
But
Nathan,
Eric is being my gracious
I'm
co-host.
happy, very happy to be along for the ride on this one. This has been a very fun tournament, but Nathan has caused problems by making the finals of the tournament.
Yeah, so he can't cast it.
I know.
Jeez, what a loser. But we hope you guys have enjoyed so far. Eric's been doing a great job, in my opinion.
Oh, you too, man. It's great. Always a pleasure to cast with you guys.
Yeah.
I got to cast with Nathan on your unfortunate beating
the
at the hands of
Nationals.
Colby.
Yeah.
Like I also took a beating at the hand of Colby in
was
the
rough.
media round prior, so
Nathan
I sympathize.
Containment feels the Sarkin.
Yep.
You have to imagine he really wants to kill it here. But man, if he can't kill it, it's a lot of draws on the Sarkin.
Yeah, I was gonna say he still gets the
Plays.
something 3 actions that I don't think do because there's no damage.
Yeah.
Played like a couple Mars needs Amber. And
That was it. They did forge his key, but Alex is about to forge his. The bits
Oh, that's
donation,
true.
yeah.
It's true. Alex is your good day reporting on chat. Alex is your current donation
Yeah.
leader.
Well, he's second. He donated 1 bit. Sky Jedi gave us 500
Oh,
yesterday.
okay. Not your current donation.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, Sky Jedi. But I just noticed that. It's pretty funny.
So Sarkin's gonna draw a lot of cards.
Yeah, it's gonna draw a lot of cards and then die.
I think he's trying to figure out when he dies from the containment field. Is it after he draws, or is it?
So here's my understanding of
Is it a
timing windows.
decision?
So I think it's a decision of active player.
Okay.
Because I think after a creature is used, it includes the reap ability, or at least is in the same window as the.
I think it's in the same window.
Because reap is after reap, just like fight is after fight, and that puts it, in my opinion, as far as I'm aware, this is not like a random opinion. This is my recollection of the timing window. It puts it in the same window, and because he's active player, he's going to choose to draw that extra card before it dies.
Right. This is the finals. It's the first game of the finals.
Game 1 of a best of 3 finals. Yes.
So I guess he did choose to put the Sutterkin in his discard pile before reshuffle with the chance that he could draw it again, which makes sense in a lose.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
He also forged with his redacted that turn.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, no, that's a smart play.
Yep. He drew about 1 million cards, roughly 1 million.
Redacted changes the dynamics of this matchup when it comes in early.
It really does.
Redacted
It's on a
totally
timer.
it basically especially when Nathan has no artifact removal, what Redacted basically does in this matchup, if you get it the first couple of turns, is it says Nathan has to beat you by a full key.
Yeah.
Right? Nathan has to get to 3 before you get to 2 because you're gonna get to 2 with Redacted.
Finals is not adaptive. So this is just best of 3 games, and it was sealed solo. Was the format?
Right. So this is sealed solo. In the past, this is actually the pre-Eddie era. In the pre-Eddie era, the finals of all tours in America, at least, were all adaptive, whether Archon or sealed. They were all adaptive. This final is best of 3, and that is the new format going forward, from what I understand, in like non-triad games. Meanwhile,
Alex went to
Alex
exactly
gets
6.
a check. Yeah.
A Merkins. Oh wow. That was it.
And that is it.
That was
Yeah,
his
he was
only
looking
out.
for an answer.
Holy crap. Alex's deck is insane.
Alex's deck is the same. Now,
Okay, so Alex is up again.
Alex's deck drew extraordinarily well that game. Getting out redacted turn 1. Getting Mars Needs Amber. So excuse me, Martian Generosity, like on time for massive benefit, is a very good draw.
Alright. We move on to game 2.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good. So getting redacted. So you can make an argument that if you're Alex, you actually mulligan for redacted, having seen no amber removal from Nathan.
Yeah.
And like if you're Alex, I think you would willingly. It's closer. Let me ask you: if you're Alex and you have an opening hand with generosity and 3 Mars cards, but no redacted.
Are those 3 March cards March first and a creature?
Okay, let's say you have 1 Mars first and 1 creature and 1 other random non-creature non-Mars first card, and 2 off house but not redacted. Do you mull that hand?
I think I keep that.
See, I would
tough though, right?
It's rough, but I would consider mulling that hand, and the reason why is because like the Logos is going to allow you to draw a lot quicker into the Nathan's deck is a little bit harder to get generosity just randomly because you don't have a lot of cards other than generosity that cycle through Nathan's deck.
Yeah,
Alex has the better build, right?
Yeah.
Alex has a Logos build, the better build when your opponent has no artifact removal.
Yeah.
Like the Logos cycles faster, so yeah, if I'm Alex, I mulligan specifically for redacted, pretty much regardless of what the opening hand is, unless maybe if you give me like generosity and 5 Mars cards, like you give me a whole Mars hands, then yeah.
On the same vein, I remember Nathan telling me that one of his key cards is Dust Chronicles because it allows him to cycle.
Yeah.
Whereas Alex has that.
Alex has a
stays.
house,
Yeah.
right? Has an
Or
entire house that
yeah.
does like Sutterkin, lab work, and Eureka, and like all this crazy
He's
stuff.
looking at a lot of Mars in his hand, but no redacted. So we'll see what decision he
If
makes.
he doesn't, does he have generosity?
I think he does. Yeah.
He does. Okay, so this is the exact typo.
It is.
He's got 7.
Nathan pitches. Alex is
So
gonna keep.
I would think about bidding his hand, but he
I
does.
want to
have
say it was 5 Mars cards.
So he does have the Hyperwitness, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I said I would consider holding it if you had that many other Mars cards and you could hit generosity immediately because then you generosity into the redacted.
Yeah.
But if you're only going to generosity for like 6, I think I would bid it.
It's tough.
It is, but these are the razor thin strategic decisions that the players at the table have been making the entire tournament.
Yep.
And they're both in a better position to make those calls than we are.
I have to imagine that Nathan's probably aggressively mulliganing for one of his combos as well.
Oh, you have to aggressively mulligan for either. You basically have to either have both pieces of Dreamernaught, or generosity and a couple Mars cards, or you 100% mulligan in hand.
And he'd be happy to see a Dreamernaught combo against like a board of Logos guys that he wants to die.
I think he's going second. I think he put Alex on the 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay,
No, he's
so
not
he's
going
going
first.
first.
Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strategy here.
Yeah, there is a ton of interactions.
Because even if you get the combo second, you're not out of the game. If your opponent got it first, absolutely not.
I mean, these are the razor thin strategic decisions that you have to consider at high level play for sure.
I think Nathan's deck is better at repeating the combo.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I think even if he gets it off second, he could take a win.
Yeah, if he's doing it every turn,
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Because Alex won't play around Hypnotic Command as well as George did.
So we'll see. Starts out with Spy Master.
Okay.
Solid first turn play. Draw 2 cards. Oh, draw 1 card, sorry, because it's just 1 card he played. So here comes... Probably... He's considering... The Golden Ore doesn't do it.
It might be time to just get some second cards out of your hand.
He might go out of Mars once.
Yeah.
To try to generate a possibility of drawing more. No, he's going to do the Mars thing.
Worm.
Here we go. He's going to generosity for later.
Mars first.
I'm guessing 8.
Ready reap.
So that's 2. Does he have another Mars first one yet?
He might, and he has at least 2 more actions.
That is Mars Need Amber.
Yeah.
And generosity for 8. Yeah. Predictions.
Yeah. An 8 might not be enough to make a huge impact.
Well,
What
this
impact you want.
is a huge determiner.
Yeah.
Right. This is a high RNG play.
Sanctum logos 2 Mars cards, maybe 3. Yeah, 3 fixed finger.
Star Peeps is betting money on
That's
Nathan for
hilarious.
this game.
There's no current bet.
I like it.
On Star
I
Peeps,
like
I'm
it.
sorry.
There are no bets, but I like it. I still like it.
Mars first, ready.
Reap.
Reap.
Yeah, no point in running the Mind Worm into
Yep.
the Spy Master yet.
Okay. That's it. Not as big of a generosity play as we saw last game, so that could be very important. I'm not sure what went in Nathan's hand, though. So we got Ganger Chieftain. He's going to attack the Mind Worm, I think.
Just to strip elusive
Ganger
and then to
Chieftain.
kill.
He's gonna attack the Mind Worm.
Smart. That's a good play. Do you have drum or not?
That's
you
it.
do not.
Just want to get that mineral off the table. He might
Yeah.
be trying. This feels to me like he's setting up a Mars turn.
I think you're probably right.
Filtering his
I mean,
hand a
but
little bit.
I think removing the Mind Worm, given what he's going to put out there, is very important. Anyway, but well, especially if he was going to put these out anyway. If he's putting out the Brobnar, you don't want him to be able to just kill off a chieftain for free. Basically,
The lack of redacted on Alex's board is.
it makes a
apparent,
huge
right?
difference.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like
it
there's
is.
so like redacted and logos are a big advantage if you played the matchup 100 times.
Yeah.
This matchup will not be played 100 times. It'll be played a maximum of 3. But the fact that he got it at the beginning of round 1 of game 1 makes it much more likely for him to win, and he did win. But we'll see.
So we got Golden Aura. What was
Yeah.
that? Oh, was that Prince Derek? Okay. Yep.
That's Lion.
Lion Belcher.
Yeah. So that's really big. Well, it's a 4.
Yeah.
Sorry, he put the counters on already. I thought he put counters on through some other means. Healing Blast. Ooh.
Does he get the full value of that? No, just one.
I think he.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because I think what happened was I think he put counters. I think he had the what's the let me look to see if he has that card. Killzord. Does he not Killzord, but sorry, hold on, blanking. I don't know what happened because that card that I thought he had is not in his deck. He somehow put power counters on his thing.
I'm not sure how.
Oh, it just had one armor.
Because Golden Aura would have healed it, right? Too.
Fixed Finger is a 2/1 creature by default,
Yeah.
right? So running into a 5 power creature should have killed it. 'Cause it
Oh,
would-
he healed the Ganger Chieftain. He healed the Ganger Chieftain. He did forward the Ganger Chieftain.
so why didn't Fixed Finger die?
Because it was Golden Aura. It couldn't take damage.
There you go.
Figured it out.
All right.
We got there.
Problem solved.
Alright, so he's going to use the Dipno to use the Ganger Chieftain to kill the Lion. Takes the hammer off that, yep. And passes. So Alex is going to forge, looks like.
Forge 1, still no redacted. So he probably only has 1 turn at most, if any, before playing redacted is going to matter in this match. I would guess.
Yeah.
Because you got to go back to specifically Logos multiple times. So if we don't see redacted this turn, I would expect that it would not play a factor in this game unless something very weird happens.
The last Mars Voltor for a while.
that's
It's a good
true. This
point.
is the last.
Yeah, this
well,
is the last hurrah for Mars.
Well, actually, hold on. So I don't think it's the last sealed Mars Vault Tour. I suspect we will see some Archon decks
Sure, yeah.
with Mars. I know a particular man in Poland that might make sure that there are some Archon decks with Mars present. But yes, that's fair. Definitely the last hurrah for sealed AOA in a vault for the conceivable future.
Okay, so I think he's playing. Looks like Pip.
Pip. We're gonna see a Mind Lock in a minute.
Director ZYX.
I think you Mind Lock the Spy Master.
You can't. It's not a flank.
You know what? I always forget that about. I always want to say Mind Lock. I always want Mind Lock to be an amazing card. So,
It's only okay.
yeah. Well, then I guess you take the Mars guy in the end, right? I don't think Mind Locking one chieftain unless you can kill the other one immediately is like an immense value.
Like if he has Death Quirk or something.
All right. Well, maybe he does have Death Quirk. So he's gonna Mind Lock the chieftain. Death Quirking one chieftain to kill the other chieftain is the flavor hilarious play.
Backup copy? What is that?
Oh, that's transposition
Oh,
sandals.
okay, sandals. Way worse than backup top.
Yes, it's just generally bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could use it so on a Mars turn, you're able to use Board and the Redeem to capture Amber. Like, that's a thing. If you need something on the fringes, take them off key.
I'm trying to figure out Nathan is setting up that Martial Generosity. I think if he plays it, he wants to be able to draw everything.
Yeah.
And archive it. I think that's his general strategy.
What does he have in hand?
Can't
He's
tell.
going Corrupt.
Yeah, he's trying to get a better Mars turn going, I think. He's going to read with Chieftain. He's going to type no. Oh, Pip stuns Chieftain.
Uh-oh.
He didn't quite catch that. I don't know that that's super important, but it could be. It could very well be.
Well, it's important if he draws into Drummer on next turn.
Well, I can still bounce it. It doesn't matter if it's stunned or not.
Correct. So it's not important.
Maybe not.
Probably.
Oh, he Coward's Ends. Okay, so it wasn't. But it does leave his stunned. Oh, okay, so actually it's 2.
Oh, because he killed Mind Lock. Ooh, sneaky Mind Lock plays.
So that's solid.
That is a solid response. He's getting 3 chains, so the chains are never good.
The problem is if he had Coward's Ended first and then reaped, he would have an unstun.
Yeah,
right now.
that would that. Yeah, so that was definitely the incrementally better play, but unlikely to matter a great deal.
He goes to exactly 6. Drops chain, draws 1.
What did he draw? Looks like a Shadows card. Does he have Brand? I'm trying to figure out what the last. I don't think he does.
We
What's
need
the
a Nathan Hamcam.
Yeah, seriously. I just I'm just gonna look behind, but
Yeah, definitely good judging. The judges here have been awesome.
yeah, they've been very good all around in the way these events have been run.
I'm not saying that Cascade didn't care, but it's very apparent that Yeti very much cares.
It's been a focus.
Yeah.
I think is a good way.
They very much they care about the players, they care about the event they're running, they care about the game they're running. I'm just very impressed by Yeti overall. Okay. So Nathan
Nathan
forges
does
first key.
forge his first key. Okay. So did Alex reshuffle
Chooses
deck?
to-
He hasn't reshuffled deck, right?
No, not yet.
It's weird for me like that the discard pile is in a very different position than the rest
Just
of us.
gone, yeah.
Yeah.
He swindles.
Swindle's fine.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's good. I think that's a good situation to do it on. He's still trying to set up that Mars turn, I swear. I'm pretty sure. I think he's got Generosity in his hand. Either that or he's just trying to get to it.
Yeah. But he knows, having already seen Generosity, he knows he's in a pretty dominant position.
I think so too. Because that Generosity for 8 wasn't enough.
Right.
To
He knows
that.
Alex doesn't have something like a Drummer Knock combo.
Yep.
Right? So he knows Alex is not going to pop out of nowhere and get 6 Amber in a turn with no warning.
There's Redacted.
Here's Redacted. As
Pip.
I said, I think this was probably a turn too late.
Yeah.
But there's an outside chance this could come into play.
Especially when it's Redacted Pip is your only play. Not great.
Redacted Pip.
Yeah.
But like that's. Did he draw a turn or not?
So he's going to play Shadows, plays Gamgee.
So let's Gamgee.
Merkin's the top card.
Merkin's.
Blue Deathquark. Okay.
That is interesting.
That is interesting.
So I don't think he killed the Ganger because the other Ganger's already dead. He killed Merkin's.
Merkin's and Pip?
Pip, I think, probably. Unless you think Beanbugger's going to kill something.
I think you got to
He
get
does.
Pip off the board because it kind of screws with your Ganger Chieftain.
So the question is, are you willing to give him a Gamgee for the Pip?
That's a tough question. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Because the Gamgee's already dead to a lot of
you
stuff.
need to- right. So
And he's
exactly.
ahead on Amber right now, so Gamgee's less impactful. He's going to drop chain and draw.
3. Looking for that draw note or that generosity. He found cards.
Just some cards.
We're unclear.
1-star peeps with the 5 get to subs. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Much appreciated. Alright, so he's going to call Logos again, gets a counter on Redacted. Plays Eureka. Nathan will not have a swindle follow up to this one.
He will not. Did he already take the Amber for Eureka?
He did.
So okay, so he's not putting himself on check. He does get a counter on Redacted. Did Did he get Igor? Oh, he did not pull Igor. That's unfortunate. They didn't pull that up. This one.
So he's lab work and Sutterkin
That's
and Grey
rough.
Rider.
I think you only take the lab work. I don't think you expect Sutterkin's going to survive long enough to be relevant. Sutterkin does give you more value if he were to somehow survive going back into a Logos turn to trigger the redacted, but I think you don't expect, having seen. I don't think has Nathan even played Bombardment this game?
No.
Yeah, so you can't expect that Sutterkin's going to live.
It's a tough decision, honestly. I would probably take lab work.
Because I take lab work for two reasons. One is that you don't expect Sutterkin to live, so it's probably just dead value. The other is you get an amber for lab work, and you remove a card out of hand, so you're drawing more cards to try to get back into deck, try to get to generosity faster, because that's what he wants to do. So I take lab work.
So he does. He does take lab work.
Okay.
And archives card. That's it.
I can see the archive.
And neither.
Really any
A
card.
sanctum card.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's getting 5. He still's got 1. Looks like maybe just literal 1 card in deck. First blood to kill Igor. Here comes Drummer. That was
Stun.
Bramo. Oh no, he didn't. Oh man. Nathan is, I'm not, this is going to sound like I'm saying he's doing it intentionally, he's not, but Nathan is giving Alex opportunities to climb back into this game.
Yes.
Obviously not by choice, by card draw. But Nathan still hasn't seen Drum or Not or Generosity. Such brutal draw odds in a final. That happened in game 1 too. No, but such is the power of Nathan's deck that it's still close. And Nathan's strategic play as well. You never know. He's got more turns. He draws Blinding Light for Brobnar.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter relevant to the combo.
I hate those cards. Why is he doing this to me?
I know. Seriously, if we just start throwing stun tokens over the wall. I'm just gonna go and hand him a couple stun tokens if it goes to game 3.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. Please. Is that Prince Derek? I think it's Prince Derek.
Yeah, that's Derek.
Okay, I got it right this time.
That is Derek.
No value, Derek.
Grey Rider, probably with no activation, I'm guessing. Of course. Oh, never mind. Of course, that's correct. Nathan had several turns to draw Drummer Not, was unable to do it, and now he's out of the combo, but Generosity will draw him back into the combo, so now he's looking for Generosity up top of deck.
Chill. And Borden?
Yep. Okay. Alright. Nathan really needs Generosity. Does he have it here?
He's gotta be getting close to it, at the very least.
Oh, 100%. He doesn't have more than 6 or 7 cards in it. It's difficult to visually judge.
He hasn't played much Mars.
Almost none, actually. He's got Mother Gun. You're probably Mother Gun Borden here.
I don't think so. Or Grey Rider.
You drop Mars first on the ground, so that he's offering. Oh, that's interesting. So he accidentally pulled a card out of deck when he was shuffling.
Oh.
Now he's offering back to Alex to shuffle, and then Nathan will reshuffle. Shuffle Wars.
All the shuffles.
Not unlike Swindle Wars.
Okay. 6 cards. Yeah.
Does he have Generosity? Is the question. Because Generosity for
I have to imagine if he had it.
10 or 11 here, yeah. Do a sequence, but
he's been trying to get to it.
This is amazing that he still hasn't found the card. There's 2 consecutive games that he's had this problem. That is extremely rough.
Alright, so he's gonna call Mars.
He's going Mars, so he's Mother Gunning for some number. Probably 3.
4 to the Chael. He's putting 2 damage on. He's probably gonna set Marcy's Amber here.
Yeah. Bombardment to put more damage on, or put damage on Borden.
3.
Oh, he must not have Mars Needs Amber.
3. So leaving 2 on the board. Or no, killing the board.
He must not have Mars Needs Amber.
Yeah.
Because he would have played before then.
Proliferator.
Man, super
Harvester
unfortunate.
Proliferator.
He also does not have.
Either Hypnotic Command or Mars Needs Amber.
And his opponent's on check. Oh, God, the luck.
He might have already played Mars Needs Amber earlier.
That's possible, but like the fact he still doesn't have Generosity is just insane. What is he? How is he archiving?
With the Proliferator.
Oh, Proliferator.
Mars first.
Because he used Mars first.
I think he got Mars Needs Amber out of his discard pile because he had played it earlier.
Alright,
Just
so
for
let's
Amber.
see. Let's see if he misses it again.
So Alex forges the second key, and Nathan is
So,
writing the
so the
seven.
thing you mentioned earlier, they were referencing earlier about not looking at your hand face down. This is a fair thing where, like, I don't know how good poker face Nathan has. You know much better than I do.
It's pretty good.
But even if he has an amazing poker face, like
Yeah.
I would consider not looking at hand right here because you don't really want to telegraph to Alex whether he got Generosity or not.
I don't disagree there.
I mean, most times I think it's generally not super important, but if you just get into the habit of doing it, he did put himself in check, but he's going to need some things. Because now,
And Lord of Winter's back through his deck.
Nathan is on a literal 3-turn clock.
Yeah.
Like, all Alex needs to do, and being up a game in the final, I would consider taking this tack. Just call Logos. Like, even if you have no cards, I call Logos. I pass. You need to find a response. Because he can't Shatterstorm, he can't do anything. I don't know that. See, that's the thing. I think you actually do that. I think in order for Nathan to. No, I guess he could have drawn Generosity.
So
Does he have enough Amber and Mars on to get up to get up the check on a Mars turn after he plays Generosity?
He does. Yes.
Because Mars first. Okay, that's fair.
Harvester.
Yeah, then I guess you can't rely on Logos.
And he did turn the Harvester off though there. Carpet clocks him to get Amber.
Martian Amber?
Yeah. Doesn't work on Martian creatures.
Yep.
Mars creatures.
It's true. Not all Mars creatures are Martian.
True.
How dare you? Of course.
It makes me wonder if it was a better idea to shoot the Ganger Chieftain and move it to the left of the Proliferator to make the Proliferator not on the flank.
Oh, so that's an interesting call. I like that idea actually. But then again, what's the best card he would archive from with Proliferator? Mars first, I guess.
Mars first, pretty good.
Yeah, still good. All right, well, let's see if he got Generosity. He's calling Shadows.
Oubliette for the Exile. Fixed figure.
I would consider purging the Grey Red.
I would too. You might have a reason for that though.
We'll see.
EMG.
I'm not sure.
Discard Bad Penny.
Blocking. Oh, we'd rather keep the Proliferator flank.
Plays too much to protect for Amber. And passes.
It's very interesting.
Drawing 2, 3, 4.
Still cards in deck.
Jeez.
This is the difference, right? The Logos difference versus like the card cycling difference versus the Brobnar Drummer combo. Card cycling currently winning. We'll see if is that Chief? I think that's Foozle. What is that?
In hand or on the table?
The thing that's stunned that has a card over it, so we can't see the art.
must
so
be-
we would know.
It must be Foozle.
Because we would know.
Yeah. Because
Stun
it looks like it
Stun tokens.
references an Amber.
Yeah.
Right.
So, do you Logos here?
I think Logos is probably the call. Looks like it has like 3 Logos cards in hand.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets
So like I
threatened
said,
with it, but it's redacted.
he's gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna go. Sanctum probably.
Attack, Angie.
This is why. Yeah, I would have.
Yep.
This is why we're purged that card. We'll see what the theory is. I'm not sure.
Blinding Light for
Mars. I mean,
yeah.
more cards.
Disgusting.
I know. These stun cards. Come on. What is this?
At least it's very visible.
But the whole point of these cards, you're supposed to put them underneath. They have that little like. It's fine.
Lion.
Nathan will do what Nathan would like
Yeah, you
to
can't
do.
stop him.
No, can't be contained.
No.
Although Alex is containing him pretty well currently, but
So oh, it was Bramo. Okay, it was Bramo.
Yeah.
Play Signal Fire on
So he's just cycling through cards as quickly
yeah,
as
so
possible.
next turn he should get to Dreadnought. And Bramo kills, or doesn't kill, he just puts some damage out there.
So now you
Weasel.
get to he needs to get to
I think he gets to it guaranteed now.
Well, let's see. I don't know how many cards he has in deck.
It's close. 1, 2, 3.
He
Oh
does
my
not stop
gosh.
Let's see how bad is this. How bad's the RG? I don't know that he got it.
I see Containment Field. That's
I
terrible.
think he did. See, and this is the problem. I think, like, so I did not see the card. I think he got generosity simply based on how he handled the cards and slammed them down on the table. Like, that's a tell. If I'm, like, I
Could be.
play some poker, and I think he has it. We'll see if I'm right, but I think he has it based on the way he handled those cards. Yeah, he does. There is. It's on top. Yeah.
This is intense.
That is a tell. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The proliferator stunned.
It is stunned, and the Harvester can't do anything.
You just got Mars first.
He has,
draw into
he
it.
has 1 Mars first left. I believe he has to use 2.
So it's either this card, which will draw with that, or he'll get it back.
Yeah, he's drawing into a bunch of stuff from the discard too.
So the question is, can he? Well, even if he puts himself in check, it doesn't matter because unless he kills his board, so he doesn't have any creatures for Mars needs Amber. So suiciding a creature into something would be good.
Yeah, to be fair, you're right. Stun cards are very visible on the stream, and it's probably artifacted due to the internet
I mean,
quality.
that's fair.
So yeah,
That's fair.
they're doing a good job.
I mean, it's a nitpicky thing for us to nitpick, but you know.
Healing Blast to heal his.
That's smart.
His
Mars
mans.
needs Amber is no longer turned on.
Well, it wouldn't work on him anyway.
Well, that's true on him. Yeah, fair. So, but here's his out. He can Mother Gun for 1 onto the Grey Rider. Mars needs Amber to take him exactly off
It's also
track.
Hypnotic Command too,
Oh yeah.
but also that.
Does he have that in the end?
I think he's in his draw pile still, so I think he'll get it.
Oh, okay.
Generosity.
The one card.
Yeah, so he should be able to dump a lot of Amber.
Okay, he's doing math to confirm that he can actually make this work, and he can.
There's more than Amber.
5, here we go. Not a turn too soon.
Oh, you actually can't unstone the Harvester, can you? Okay.
Correct. But the Proliferator is the one you need.
Yes, that's the key.
Well, actually, you would like to have Harvester if you have a Mars first in hand.
Well, absolutely.
So this generosity is not a big one unless he finds a way to generate some.
But it's gonna get some key cards though.
He's probably considering whether or not to use Mars first on Proliferator now, or like, sorry, his options probably are play a creature, use Mars first, get 2 more Amber, generosity for more, or save the Mars first, guaranteed to archive generosity. That's a hard call, but I'm pretty sure that the math leads heavily towards playing the creature because you have another generosity you can draw. Discard.
Okay.
Because he wants it back.
I think he doesn't want it. I would wait to discard that, I think, until after you do your
What is he
draw.
doing?
Mars first, there.
Why? Oh, does he not have another
And
creature?
Yeah, he wants to get a big. He wants to draw 10 cards, I think. He's gonna,
Man, he doesn't have another creature in
yeah.
hand.
Oh, archives the containment field. He doesn't want to draw it. That's why.
Okay,
He wants to draw some other Mars cards.
right, but why would you? I don't understand what you archive.
You have to archive a Mars card, I think. He doesn't. He wants to draw his other ones. That's the
See,
one-
that's the
one
big
he
brain
doesn't
play.
wanna see,
That's the
yeah.
big brain play. Okay, got it. That makes sense. Total sense.
Those 4 cards from
Because he
library.
doesn't have another Mars creature, he had to use the Mars first time. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but so what was it for? 14?
It was 4/10.
For 10. Okay. Still not a lot. I mean, insane in a vacuum, but in the context of what this deck does,
It could be enough with Hypnotic Command and.
it really depends on the cut is huge here.
It is very big. Yeah.
This could determine the entire Vault Tour. I think he probably
good
has
shuffle
one
in there,
answer in
Alex.
hand right now. I think he has an answer, at least one answer in hand that takes him off check, right? Before he does this?
The Mars needs Amber is in hand.
It's in hand. Okay.
So Mother Gun, Mars Needs Amber can stop the forging.
He's piling all the cards all over the board. We measured card draw on Martian Generosity in piles. Alex had 4 piles earlier. I think that was only a 3-pile draw. 2.5.
Not as impressive.
Yeah. Okay.
He's making room on the battle
Here
line.
come more things that are not next to
Looks like orbital bombardment.
So
back.
you cannot forget to put damage on Grey Rider first. Play Mars Needs Amber before you do bombardment.
This is where you definitely want to take time to think very clearly about all of his plays. He's going to do it. This is 1 damage on the Grey Rider. Yep. Plays the Mars Needs Amber. Plays
Is there
bombardment.
an argument to not killing the Grey Rider here?
I don't know.
So that you have a Mars Needs... Because now Alex knows not to play any non-Mars creatures.
Well, he's not going to get back to it anytime soon because he just drew a bunch of cards and he doesn't have a way to get that generosity back.
Does he have Did he draw Mars Needs Amber out of the draw
Mars
pile?
first.
Sorry, Mars first.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
Okay, well that would change.
Yeah. It looks like he didn't get Hypnotic Command either.
Oof. This could be game. What does he have in shadows in hand? That's the question. Swindle? Probably.
He might have got too much to protect back. Might have got Nerve Blast, Swindle, number of things. We don't know yet, though.
We don't know. Well, we're about to find out.
Oh, yeah, it was 12 cards because of the generosity gave him 1. Yeah. So, Beam Buckler is an unstun. Play Beam Buckler. What are you going to shoot? Shoot.
Terminal.
Okay.
Move it to a flame.
Yeah, cut off the Proliferator.
Turns off the... He doesn't have any control brown card, does he?
No, I don't think so. That was a good play by Lord Winter, for sure. Really clever use of those Beam Bucklers. They've been pretty key.
Yeah.
But you could suicide the Termagant.
So he said 7.
Yeah, that's 7.
Does he have answers?
Swindle would be pretty strong here.
Swindle's amazing. TMTP Nerve Blast. If he didn't draw any answers off that generosity, we can crown this as a amazing.
It looks like
terrible RNG.
It looks like Swindle's on his top.
But I assume. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So he's trying to seal it with the Swindle.
We'll see if we get more Swindle Wars. Oh wait, never mind. I'm thinking of last round. Last round was Swindle Wars.
Yeah.
No Swindle Wars this time.
No shadows for Alex.
This might be it. Man.
I don't know. He's got a lot of logos. Logos isn't going to stop anybody. He calls logos. Maybe I'm wrong.
I agree, he's fishing.
He's Helperbot play, maybe? Is that a Mars Needs Amber?
I think so, but I don't know how you play it.
Helperbot? Oh.
He's just dumping. I think he's done. Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's... Yeah.
I can breathe again. For like 5 more minutes.
Game 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game 3.
And I gotta tell you, like, that is one game that Nathan narrowly lost and one game that Nathan narrowly won with some of the worst possible card draw RNG. If Nathan has average card draw RNG, then in order to beat average plus card draw RNG from Nathan, in my opinion, Alex has to have redacted out in the first 2 turns.
Yeah.
Or 3, maybe.
I think you're right.
But otherwise, average or better RNG card draw from Nathan ends this very quickly. Okay.
Too intense for me.
All right. So I'm gonna riff for a minute while we're setting up for game 3 here. So, just to expound on what I was just saying. So, if Nathan has, let me clarify for the people who don't know what I mean when I say average draw RNG. In the last 2 games, Nathan has not drawn generosity until very late in the game, meaning that he was unable to take advantage of it until it was almost literally too late. I think in this game it was probably one turn away from being a turn too late for Generosity. In addition to that, the other things that Nathan, I'm reasonably certain the rounds are falling together in my head, but I'm pretty sure in the 2 games in this final that Nathan has not played the Drum or Not combo at all, and that would, that's extremely rare that you would go through 2 consecutive games with Nathan's deck and not be able to play the combo, especially when you have Generosity to draw all those cards. Hold on one second, I'm adjusting Nathan's win total here to reflect that he has won 1 game. There we go. We are on to Dave 3. Nathan's deck does not have artifact control in Nika slots, so that's why we were saying earlier, Alex being able to play for Redacted early is crucial in my opinion. So we had this conversation. Justin and I had a conversation prior to the start of the last game as to what I would do in terms of what both of us would do in terms of mulligan decisions, and I said I would strongly consider mulliganing for Redacted regardless of what Alex's opening hand draw is. Right? I would mulligan for Redacted even over Martian Generosity and a bunch of Mars cards. Like, that exact hypothetical happened. Alex kept Martian Generosity and a bunch of Mars cards, and it didn't work out for him. Now, I'm not saying that was because of the mulligan decision. It's definitely a defensible position to keep Martian Generosity and, like, 4 or 5 Mars cards if you're on the, as an opening hand, whether you're on the play or not. It doesn't matter. Like, it's a defensible position. But his Generosity only hit for, like, 8 or 10, I think. I think it was only 8, maybe. Early in the game, and as a result, then it's a situation where, you know, you don't get the 20, 30 card Martian Generosity draw that just ends the game single-handedly. Justin's back. Justin, I was just talking about the conversation that we had prior to game 2 about mulligan decisions, and I was wondering out loud whether or not his decision to keep, and again, I understand, I think it's defensible to keep, it's definitely defensible to keep Martian Generosity and 5 cards, but not mulliganing for Redacted, because remember, his Generosity only went off for like 8 or 10.
I think you got to get a big Generosity.
So like,
in this matchup.
right, but if you keep a hand with Generosity,
Yes, I agree with you.
keep a hand, right, I think, I'm revising or solidifying my position before, which is if I'm Alex, especially if Nathan puts me on the play. I don't know who's on the play here, but if I'm Alex and Nathan puts me on the play, I mulligan any hand that does not contain Redacted.
I would have to agree. Now, after watching that game, the way
Any
it played
hand,
out,
because even if you get the best possible, even if you get Martian Generosity and 5 Mars cards, odds are, unless you hold Martian Generosity, which feels bad,
Yeah.
you're only Generosity for like 8 or 10.
It's not enough.
And that's too much RNG.
Yeah.
Like, any hand that doesn't contain Redacted, I'm mulligan in this matchup.
Confirmation bias, yeah, a little bit.
I mean,
but you know,
fair, but I think that it's correct, given that Nathan's deck is so fast. I think that you have to basically get a free key advantage early on.
so Eureka, first turn play, pretty good.
So I think Eureka is actually
So
the
Nathan's
other
looking at a swindle in his hand, though, so that's a good answer to Eureka.
It is. But again, I mean, it does give Nathan 3 amber, but
The value you gain from Eureka is pretty big.
right,
Swindle, okay.
it's a good answer. But Alex has archived 2 cards. He's drawn 2 more cards on his first turn, which doesn't happen very often. He's gonna lab work. Oh, now he's got all the Mars cards. See, this doesn't.
That kind of, I think he got Martian Generosity, but that kind of crapped on his potential
It did.
Generosity.
See,
play.
like, well, I'm gonna get accused of confirmation bias if I keep repeating the point. So we'll move forward and see what happens from here.
Yes, they are both extremely good players. There's a reason they're here.
Yeah, absolutely, no question. And
Picks
these
up archive.
strategic considerations we're talking about are extremely. These are not basic strategic considerations. These are very complicated questions of strategy. He's demanding. I don't think you actually have.
You do actually have to.
You have to change flanks.
You'd have to change flanks.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Well, I learned another thing today.
Yep. It has to be moved.
Right, but
I know, it doesn't make sense.
so what if it was the only creature?
You would just stay there.
You would just shake it around for a little bit and then
you close the game down. You can't play
that's
anymore.
it. It's done. Everyone go home. I think he just played Martinis Amber for Amber. I think that's what just happened. That was a relevant thing if that's what happened.
I think so. Or he raid reaped. I'm not sure. Dust Chronicles will archive.
Yep.
This is a round 3 final. Oh, you got the win. Okay.
Yep. I got you.
Cool. Gamgee. That's it.
Game 3 of the finals. Best of 3 finals. So the winner of this game will win Vault Tour Richmond.
The Rocky music.
That's right.
Cue it up in your head.
If I do a really bad rendition of singing, I guess that doesn't get struck off. I'm not gonna do that. That's a bad idea. Meanwhile, it looks like we might be looking into a logos turn here.
It's pretty heavy logos in the hand,
Which is, even without redacted, it's still a good idea. The logos is going to cycle through deck a lot.
Will that work? It looks like he might be able to threaten with it. I'm not sure.
He's going to archive. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Great Rider's fine. It makes no difference. I don't think.
Yeah, really either one.
Because anytime you're calling.
The difference is that Nathan could Merkins and play his archive.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. So what did he archive? Great Rider?
I think the Blinding Light.
Oh, well then in that case, I would probably not archive one. I would archive Great Rider.
Right. Plays a Igor.
XPN Director.
XPN Director, and then
is those the sandals?
Sandals.
Transposition sandals?
Yep.
So he draws 5 cards. So again, the power of Logos, the difference maker in this matchup, the power of Logos, in my opinion, is a major difference. Redact is peak Logos in terms of this particular matchup, but we'll see if he can draw into it.
Does 2 damage to the Director. Drummernaut picks up Bramo. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bramo's
it's exceptional.
Kills Director, kills Fix Finger.
Kills Director. Director's a big card.
Blood of the Titans. Can he threaten though? I don't think so. Nope.
No. But he's drawing 3 or more cards per turn is good. Drawing into deck. I saw a chieftain in the so we are likely going to see the game 3 first instance of the Drummernaut.
Do we have Drummernaut now?
Drummernaut's on the board.
He's on the board, with Blood of the Titan. Oh.
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
Well, so we'll see. So we got redacted. Alex has redacted. So I think you want to get it out now.
Is it too late, or is it now the time? You have to do it now.
I think we're right on the verge of it not being too late, but he does not know that he's Drummernaut.
But is it Generosity in his hand though?
So he would be calling Logos.
Maybe not.
He would be calling Logos just to play redacted, and I think maybe 1 card at the end and then see what else goes. Yeah, Sutterkin. So he'd be just playing redacted Sutterkin. He opts instead to do this. I think this is probably a mistake.
He does stun, but that doesn't matter with the Chieftain.
No, it does matter.
Because you play Chieftain and then
it unstuns. That turns off the combo.
No, because you can unstun it and then you play Chieftain and ready and reap with it.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it actually does not matter.
Overexcited. Apologies. Golf voices. Got it.
Golf voices, calm down.
Got it. I got overexcited. So meanwhile, he's playing the Grey Rider. And then why didn't he pull Grey Rider out of archives? Or why didn't he? Why is there an archive? What am I missing?
He had put Blinding Light in there, I think. No, he played Blinding Light.
He did. Was it because he Hexman? He killed Hexman? Yeah, I missed. That was very fast. He put that there.
He put 2 damage on the Drummernaut with Hexman.
Yeah. Okay, well, can he wipe this board with the Drummernaut? Given it has Blood of the Titans, I think the answer is yes.
4-4-2.
4-4-2. So Drummernaut is an 11. It's got 2 damage on it. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
No, he can't. He's got to find another way to kill it.
He can do some damage, but it's not enough.
Does he just have the 1 Drummernaut? Or the 1 Chieftain in hand? If he has 2, he can do it. But if he doesn't, then... Because he can use this. He can use Brandon.
Nathan's stare is quite intense. You're not wrong.
He will not make Alex fold.
No,
He
Alex is not going to fold for
He
anything.
would make a lesser player fold.
Absolutely.
Alex is not a lesser player.
Not at all.
I forgot to mention, I just remembered. That game that Nathan won, that was Alex's literal first game loss in the tournament.
It was.
Because Alex was the only 6-0, went 2-0 in the semifinal.
Stormstrong, thank you for that gifted sub to Vampire Polite Talk. Appreciate that. He's going to play his shadows. He's going to oubliette the Grey Rider. So he did it. He finally did it. Maybe he learns less than the
Oubliette the thing?
Yeah, the Grey Rider even.
Game should take
Game
it.
does not
take
trigger.
Unfortunate.
Plays Merkins for your top card.
Oh, Generosity would be ridiculous. He was calling for generosity.
Mind Warp is not irrelevant,
No.
but Alex Wolforge, key 1.
All right, so he's getting Q1.
Yep. Merkensing and generosity would have been
God.
really good.
Oh God.
But no. Thank you so much.
That's like borderline instant scoop.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not because it's game 3 of a vault final, but that's like, hold on, I need to run to the bathroom and throw up moment. All right, so he didn't do it before. I think you absolutely have to go logos here. It's rough, but like, so the only hypothetical where you wouldn't go logos is if you're protecting against a combo, which ironically he does have. If you're protecting against a combo and you want to put more beef on the board, that's the argument for going against logos. But the argument for going into logos is if you don't go into logos, I think this turn, maybe next turn, but probably this turn. That's my instinct. If you don't go into logos this turn and play redacted this turn, redacted.
You never do it.
Well, you might do it, but it's not going to matter.
Hit, yeah.
Right? This game isn't lasting long
So it's
enough for that
Mars.
to happen. So okay, and he may have made the decision it doesn't matter, and that's fine. I mean, but he's basically giving up on the redacted dream at this point.
And it might be too late for it anyway, even if...
That's what I was saying. I think it's a judgment call, and if you think it might be too late, then this is frequently the right decision.
Especially if you have a strong Mars turn. So ready reaps, he goes to 4.
Can he put any more beef on the board to try to protect
Generosity? It's a 10. That's a 10.
Still pretty good, not peak generosity. Now we see what happens. So he draws a lot of cards, but if he doesn't, he's got to draw something to take him off chat.
I don't know that he can threaten. I don't think he can.
He's got to take him off chat.
He does have Marcy's Amber in the deck. I don't know if he's played it already.
Carpet Floxing. I think that's Mars first.
Yeah.
He has 3 of those.
Yeah, pretty likely to get those. I don't see Mars needs Amber.
Yeah, Merkins for Generosity replayed on the all-time.
Yeah, I know, right?
That would be the intro to every TTR stream for the rest of eternity, which would be a clip of that play.
Mars
first. For more Amber, I'm guessing? Or is he in a fight? I don't think you want to fight here, unless you're specifically fighting the drum or not.
Bramo?
I don't know about this play. What is happening?
Puts 3 on the Bramo and 3 on the... Or 2 in the fixed area because of the extra armor.
I guess he figures he needs the Bramo to clear, but you should basically...
Oh, he did have Mars needs Amber.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, man.
It all makes sense now.
Yep. It was hiding. Or I'm blind. One or the other. That was a strong turn. The question is, when can Nathan get his generosity off? Is it now?
But does he have it?
I don't think he does.
Okay. Well, that would make it hard to get it on.
It would. Yeah, it would.
Okay, so we're going shadows here.
Gamgee?
Gamgee, no effects. Merkins, check.
Goes to 6.
What do we have in shadows? We have Blast.
Earth Blast.
Yep. Put some damage. Oh, no, that doesn't... Oh, it puts 1. Double Earth Blast. He's dead. No, not dead? Yeah,
Killing the fixed finger, yeah.
He's 100% dead. Check at 8. Interesting. Still digging for that generosity. Man, these RNG draw looking finals.
That's insane.
It's so bad. Oh.
He's playing
did he
good
get
as well.
it? He did it again.
Yeah.
What he did with the hand, he did that again. I think he has it.
Put it down, yeah.
I think he immediately, like when he saw, I think he has it again. You need to tell him later that he has a tell.
Never look at your cards again.
Well, not just that, but like he has to be conscious of it,
yeah.
right? Like if you're deliberately like not looking at your cards, that's the safest way. But you can also force yourself to look at the cards for roughly the same amount of time, right? This is a lesson from poker, right? In poker, if you look at your whole cards and immediately slam them down and look at your chips, like I can tell you, like you have a monster. So we'll see if I'm right.
Let's look through his discard pile. Oh, look through Alex's discard pile. Okay.
Yeah.
Picks up the archive. It's the Logos turn. Play Sutterkin.
Hex-Beyond.
Hex-Beyond.
Pip 2. Bouncing Deathquark coming.
Yep.
Bouncing Deathquark for the Chieftain.
Kill a
or
lot
the
of
drummer,
stuff.
not rather.
Plays Redacted.
Yeah. Might as well.
Plays the professor.
Here we go.
Okay. Probably just kill as much as you can.
I think that's true. You kill
Especially
XP
'cause he's
into
got-
Archive and the Drummer Knot first. 100% the Drummer Knot first.
Yeah. It's gonna die at some point.
Alright, so you kill Jam. Whatever. The order doesn't particularly matter, but you just can't pass back with the
I
Drummer
think
Knot
everything
alive.
but Merkins needs to die. Merkins maybe.
Yeah. You can make an argument for not killing Merkins because if he's going to redraw with
don't want to get it
Generosity, you
back.
don't want him to be able to like hero Merkins something.
I might leave Merkins for that purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus Merkins is just a reap 1 currently, so.
Beambuckler and probably a Brobnarian. Ooh, he does kill Merkins.
Okay. He's playing a weird game of chicken currently. He is passing back?
I guess he wants to get a Sutterkin threat.
You think he's baiting him to go Bravo? What is happening?
I don't know, but if Nathan
So
has
like
Generosity,
the Pip-Pips reap to stun, but like
that might. I don't know. So he does Forge for 6.
I don't. Okay, the Pip-Pips do reap to stun.
So it hurts
Or
the
just sorry, stun his reap,
Yeah.
but like.
But if he has
But he
Bombardment,
has. So now, all right. Well, so unfortunately, until we see his hand better, I won't know because I think he's tempted to go into Brobnar. He is going to go into Brobnar, so we don't know if he has Generosity currently. If my prediction was correct, I can see Bombardment there. Lollop. I saw Bombardment in some other Mars cards. I think he has.
stun.
Yeah. And that's still 2 damage?
It is only 2. Yeah.
And it's an 11 power creature with the Blood of Titans.
Yep.
Okay, so we can clear board.
Does he have Chieftain?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay.
I think he has 2. Yeah, he's got 2.
So he's gonna kill a lot of Martians. He's counting. Looks like. Or I'm sorry, a lot of Logos Ians. Fights Pip.
Yep.
Bounces the
2
Junior
damage.
Chieftain.
Yeah,
Play it.
2. Yeah, the Blood of Titans.
Attack
Super
Pip.
clutch
Yeah,
here.
it's huge. Bounces that. Plays the 3rd Ganger Chieftain usage here.
Into there, that's 8.
That's the
8
4th
damage,
Germanaut usage.
which then will bounce the Ganger Chieftain.
And Germanaut needs 2 more damage on it.
Yeah, 2 damage.
You can go tell him that, probably. Yeah. Ready, reap.
Got it.
Yep. Not a big deal, but
Nope, could be relevant in the
Could be
future, who
relevant.
knows.
so that would be the 6th Germanaut usage. I think he's got the trigger. He's going to think about bouncing. Okay, bounces Bramo.
Gives him an Amber. He holds Bramo to kill something?
I think
Or
he had to play
replace
it 'cause he's
play
trying to get through
use
his deck.
cycle to
Yeah.
Generosity. Yeah.
Plays the
Ready and reap with
Bramo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now the Brobnars are a big threat right now.
So
Alex.
this is why I did not like. This is why. So that could be. It's possible that was. Again, in the pantheon of strategic mistakes, it's not like incredibly high, but it's possible that could be the biggest strategic mistake comparatively that Alex makes in the finals. I don't know that it'll matter. We'll see, but if he doesn't have an immediate answer to this combo, it's gonna it could end up being a major mistake.
I don't know that he had any board wipe capabilities.
He was He was mid death work.
Yeah,
Right. Like he could have killed both Pip-Pips and the Brobnar creatures.
I think you
right?
1,000% do that.
Right, because that's the only drummer not in deck. He has to do that. I get the theory, right? It's understandable why
do too.
he said it's going to stun on reap, but there's no reaping in that process
Yeah.
until after the Pip-Pip is dead.
plays Chael, plays Lion, plays Prince, plays Borden,
Yep.
and
Healing Blast. He's going to
Do you
heal. Yeah.
Wow.
He's
No.
not going to. Oh,
Okay, I don't think you do.
I would consider it.
Because then he just combos again on you.
Yeah,
He kills all your guys.
but unless you have a way to. Well, I guess there are enough. Yeah,
His combo
that's
just
fair.
kills all your guys. Yeah.
Right. I guess it still wouldn't kill your guys, but there are enough other Brobnar creatures that he can kill the guys that way. So unless you have removal for that, yeah, that's fair. That's fine. Healing Blast just for 1 Amber. Would have put him on check, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of interesting.
Right. Because he might be able to clear your board, Brobnar.
But he wants to draw into Generosity.
Yes.
And he wants to draw into Generosity with Amber and Pool. So that's probably the tiebreaker in that particular argument. Because the Nathan play after that could be to just go back into. Well, I guess I don't know if Team TP is in this card. Has he played? Has Alex played Team TP?
No, he doesn't have one. But has Nathan played it? I think he did for
Oh,
Amber earlier.
Alex doesn't have one. I thought he
No,
did.
he had no shadows.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, I mixed
It's
semis
been a
and
long
finals there.
finals.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I think yeah. Because now he's just gonna kill. So he left two.
So he's gonna first blood the crap out of
Okay.
the
So
board.
the Death Court decision is gonna come back to haunt him in a major way, unless he comes up with like a really big turn next turn.
Plays Signal Fire.
Yeah. You can't. You had to kill. This is a.
He's gonna go pretty big here.
The mistake is elevating to a major mistake.
Kill Lion.
Yeah.
Something else. Anything else
Wallop.
to kill Derek.
Well, we'll do it.
Yep.
He's putting him in front of him. Well, I mean, it's not intentional, but.
Chieftain. Don't know.
See, because Chieftain is there and this Chieftain is there, he's not going to get any extra recruiters off Chieftain unless this will just be the last Chieftain he bounces.
Right. So it'll be healed
So
at
like,
the end of the day.
it doesn't particularly matter. It doesn't matter what he kills it with as long as it's not specifically Drum or not.
Well,
then,
you do end up with 2 healed chieftains in that case. You guys have to keep in mind he's got 2 chieftain usages. So the judge just put the dice down for it.
for sure.
So reaps twice.
So now he's just putting his foot in the ground.
And I think we start Drummernotting.
What Amber Control does Alex have? That is an
I
excellent
don't
question.
think he doesn't have a doorstep.
He doesn't need
I
Mars.
don't think he has anything huge.
So the Amber Control that Alex has is
Chieftain's 3 usages.
2
Ready
Mars
reap
needs Amber,
with Drummernot.
2
Bouncing.
Bordens, Joya,
King or Chieftain.
take hostages, nothing. He has nothing that effectively answers this at all. Nathan is pretty much going to put himself on a 2-turn clock.
Alright. Plays the.
So that's it. I think
I think that might be it.
I mean, obviously, I'm not calling it, but I think this is the end of the match, and I think the failure to kill the Drummerknot with the bouncing Death Quark is if there is a single identifiable thing that's going to lose Alex this match, it's that decision. It's very unfortunate, but I mean that was the single event.
Wow.
Because Alex is not gonna.
He's got nothing on board except redacted with no tokens on it, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be tough.
I think it's over.
I can't identify an out in the deck.
I think it's over. Well, so I said before, that we haven't seen a game in the final where he's even been able to use the Drummerknot combo.
Yeah, and he did
And the
it.
Drummerknot combo was going to win him a Vault Tour. So he has Generosity in hand. Things are going to get a little interesting. But again, because of the nature, he's going to have to take a turn to play Generosity. He just plays it straight out.
Because I don't think he can threaten after Generosity. I think he does have 3 Mars first, so he could theoretically. So he's only getting 10 cards out of this.
I'm a little confused as to why that happened. Like, why he just played it straight out.
He might not have had anything to play
Maybe
first.
not. That's fair.
Yeah.
That would be the only logical
He drew 1 Mars card?
Almost. Is that bombardment?
Mars first, I think.
Well, this is I think there's a reasonable chance this will be the last time you see Brobnar in the finals.
He was
of
showing
Vault
him
Tour
the
for a
2
long
Marsden
time.
Zambers, and no, he's playing 2 Marsden Zambers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's a reasonable chance this is the last time you'll see Brobnar in the finals of Vault Tour for some time.
You don't think it's that great in World School?
Oh, it's so bad. But that's my personal opinion.
haven't
Everyone
gotten
out there in
there yet, so we
chat,
don't know.
prove me wrong. But like,
We'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll see.
figure it out.
We'll see. But this is definitely a triumphant
This
ending
is
for Brobnar.
This is a run back Brobnar
Yeah,
turn,
now
I
he
think,
just
unless he
now
wants
he
to get
just he
cute.
calls Brobnar and goes back, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. This is over.
Yeah, it's pretty over. Wow.
Because all the Sanctum Amber control he has requires the stuff to be on board. Like he needs board and on board. He needs double boarding. Double board needs to be on board. He needs stuff on board to fight in for take hostages. That's his other piece in Sanctum that could potentially be useful, but he doesn't have that.
So Nathan passes back with 12 check, and
That's it.
I don't know what Alex can do, but
No.
he's trying to put something together.
I mean, he'll look, right?
Yeah,
as you
look.
should,
It's
100%.
the finals, game 3. You gotta try
Oh,
to.
an insult to injury. He's redrawn bouncing Death Quirk right there in his face as if to say, I'm sorry this worked out, old friend.
I think after the handshake, we'll turn on the table
Yeah.
table talk, because Nathan likes to talk to his opponent for like 25 minutes.
Wow.
Plays Mind Lock, takes a Chieftain, plays Pip-Pip, plays Death Quark. He's gonna kill all this stuff. Kill the heck out of that, I think he said. There's the handshake.
Wow. Well, what a...
There you have it.
Let me tell you, this has been a royale result.
It's been pretty good.
It has been
Congrats,
a
Nathan.
very impressive win. Congratulations.
Well played from both people. Both decks were insane on the backs of Martian Generosity plays. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I hope
Congrats.
you guys enjoyed. Yeah, congrats to Nathan for sure.
Congrats to you as well.
I'm happy for him.
Bringing it-
I'm glad
bringing
I
it
got top
home.
8, but
That's awesome.
I beat him, so I'm basically the champion, right?
I think that's correct.
Okay,
I
that's
think,
what I thought.
I'll tell you what, I look forward to hearing that argument over the next several different casts that you guys have.
Let's say months.
Yeah, we'll call it a couple
I'm gonna
months.
turn on table talk so you can hear Nathan talking to Alex.
So I was like, I might have to Gengar a Lala up into one of your big dudes. Then with the Blood of the Titans on the drum or not, he's big enough to fight all your guys off the table.
Right. I had these two in there, so I was really tempted by the get back to MG.
Right. Well, and you stunned my guys, but because I could have done some Bramo work too, because Bramo could have killed a bunch of them.
absolutely.
So, and that would have actually saved me a bunch of health on the stuff. So
I did turn on this mic so you guys can.
Oh, yeah, talk. Yeah, and I think you not hitting the flock zone. And that game was crazy. I can't actually believe I won that game not playing Martian Generosity, and you played it twice.
Right. Absolutely.
Because I thought the match was going to come down to.
In a Vault Tour all about the MG.
Yeah, exactly.
Final game.
Right. I didn't play it. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
It was good stuff. So I can't.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, I can't.
Y'all deserve it.
Yeah, that was sweet. Like I honestly, I wonder if like the
Because
redacted.
I can find it a lot faster.
Yeah.
If it's near
Yes.
the bottom,
That's
near
what
the
we're
middle,
talking
I
about.
can
Yes.
find
Yeah.
it. Whereas with you, with your Jumbernaut Gengar Chieftain, if you have it, you don't want to be, calling something else to play cards. It
Correct.
lets you Get to the MG.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying.
But once
to...
you hit it, like
Yeah,
this.
the only cards that like helped with cycling in this deck were the Dusk Chronicles. My opening hand had Swindle in it, and I kept because I was like, if he
If I
Eurekas,
Eureka.
because that's his best turn play. If he Eurekas, I want the Swindle to answer it. And
I think in this matchup, the Redacted is a little bit more favorable.
yeah, I don't have
I
any
wasn't gonna mulligan
for it. Yeah,
for it
right,
if I
right,
had
right.
Eureka.
Yeah. I think if you've got Eureka, you keep Eureka, right? I think you've got like really good mulligans in this matchup because you can mulligan for Redacted, which is almost guaranteed a key, I think, over the course of a game if you get it in your opener.
Our matchup, yes.
And you had Eureka, which is just insane on turn 1. And then you had Martian Generosity. And you actually had more Mars. Did you have 3 Mars firsts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Three Mars first.
Yeah.
Which is
So
nuts.
I had 2. I had the Proliferator.
Right.
So there were a lot of games I played yesterday where I would Martian Generosity, hit the Mars first, play the Proliferator,
Right,
immediately archive it again, so it's in the archives, and then it just like sets up so I can draw the
Right.
deck. So, yeah. Okay, well, I'm
All right,
exhausted.
guys.
Let's try back to something else.
Yeah.
Finish off the last thing. Congrats to both of you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Like,
Yeah, it was
Good games, good
good
tournament.
stuff. Yeah,
Thank you.
clean, real clean tournament. Like
It was wonderful.
clean. So that I had already thanked him once for judging because I was like, I know TOs don't get thanked enough. So yeah,
Don't forget
that part's
It was
important.
great outfits, and
yeah, yeah. Oh, whew. I'm gonna sit here and like decompress.
Right? After that match.
or basically
Like
like
that.
Yeah.
Gatorade over.
Right.
Do you wanna talk on stream first?
can.
Yeah.
or I can. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Yeah, just go over there. You can talk first, and I'll follow up. So,
And
yeah.
then at some point, Denise is going to take both of your.
What's up, guys? We're gonna get Alex and Eric on stream. So Eric's gonna interview Alex for you. Be with you in a sec. Very good tournament. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate that.
That I'm not sure. I think it's
Sealed solo?
Although the guy who asked that question is sitting over there.
I was going to talk to him about my prize too, because they said talk to him about me. I didn't use my reward yet.
Thanks. It's crazy to me, like, as insane as my deck was those last two matches.
Do you want to chat?
Sorry.
Congrats on making five. That was, man, that match was crazy.
I know. It was,
That match, like, yeah, I'm sitting over here,
my
like,
heart rate
helping,
is-
helping this guy go through therapy as the match is occurring. So we slide this back a little more. So
Yep.
we got. All right, so we have Alex here. Alex, first, congratulations on getting second place in
Thank
the
you.
Vault Tour.
Appreciate it very much.
It was very well played. The final was very well played. There were some, different strategic considerations throughout the match that I'll ask about. Before I even get into that, tell me about your experience as a whole in this Vault Tour.
It's been a wonderful experience. It's my third Vault Tour that I've attended, and by far it's been the best run Vault Tour that I've personally attended.
Which other two did you go to?
I went to Atlanta,
Okay.
and which was also sealed, and I went to Gen Con.
Gen Con. Okay. All right. And I assume I I don't recall, but from what I can recall, this is definitely your best result.
Oh yes,
right? Yeah.
absolutely, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I'm very happy with it. I came in with the goal of making day 2, and
You did that.
definitely did that. And
did that.
Everything after that was just extra icing on the cake.
Well, we were talking earlier. I mean, you like the very first game you lost in the entire tournament was in the final, like
Right.
game 2. Like, you had not lost any games up to this. So that's from experience. That is incredibly difficult to do.
Sure.
And obviously, you opened a good deck. What other did you have anything that was even a consideration once you saw the generosity? Anything else that you didn't?
One of the decks was like it was a Juggernaut double ganger, but this is definitely more my style of deck. I'm more of a combo player, so when I see the logos with the generosity,
I'm with you there. I would have made the same call. I'm a combo player through and through, so I can respect that. And yeah, I mean, like obviously, if you see this deck, it would be very difficult for anyone, even if not a
Sure.
combo player, to turn that deck down.
right. Yeah, there's tons of archiving with the Eureka. It's got really good turn 1 plays, Eureka Redacted, and then just going through the deck quickly to find that generosity is it's such great value.
Right.
And Ruby with the 3 Mars first in Mars, the generosity hits hard.
It sure does. So when you were coming into this matchup, like how much did you know about? I mean, I'm sure everyone has heard a little bit something about the the monstrosity that is Nathan's deck going into this.
Yeah, I knew a good bit about it. I knew he was also running MG, which
Right.
I was really happy he made it. I was glad an MG deck could win the finals.
MG lockout of finals.
Right,
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
So how did anything? Did your approach change to how you wanted to play the matchup as the matchup progressed? Did you learn anything? Did you develop new strategies as the games progressed?
I knew a good bit of his deck coming in, so I kind of knew my strategy, and it was really more about other than a couple like specific things. It was more about me playing my own game. It was more, I want to find the MG. I want the Mars first to make it go big, and once I go big, like I'm in a good position to just set up for the rest of the game to win.
Gotcha.
Obviously, exceptions there with taking care of Juggernaut, which is
Right.
the slight
So
mistake.
we identified that as that obviously the mistake, and I'll put my journalist hat on and ask you, like, my instinct for the reason you did that was because you were looking at the pips as a potential answer, or like what was the reason that Juggernaut didn't get killed?
I got seduced by Professor Sutterkin, I would say.
Okay.
I had
Oh,
3
okay.
creatures on board, and I had 2.
Oh, I didn't
I had
even-
2 logos in the archive, one of which was an Igor. So I was thinking,
You're thinking if they
they're
survive?
both stunned. If he lives a turn, I'm drawing back into MG.
Okay,
like much
I get
quicker.
that. No, that makes a lot of sense. That was the one angle I had to consider. I originally thought that you might have, because I can see how I would have made a mistake. We're instinctively thinking double pip, that's a response to all this nonsense,
Right.
but forgetting it doesn't fight it. But what you're saying is it was a calculated risk designed to have a massive card draw the next turn because you play Igor, you get more logo stuff, you play you reap for draw 6 or whatever.
It was a risk, and obviously in retrospect, it was a mistake.
It turned out it turned out to not work out well.
Because I do know his deck has a single Juggernaut with 2 Ganger Chieftains, so
Right.
it is much better value to sacrifice one of my pips and kill the the Juggernaut, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, just because it's stunned, I mean, he can unstun and Ganger
Right.
Chieftain, get it going right away.
Right, and I'm certainly not trying to belabor the point.
Oh, no.
Just simply because, and I know I've made much bigger mistakes than that. So, but that makes a lot more sense when you put it that way. Trying to understand the philosophy behind that.
Sure.
The one other question I had, and this is a less straightforward question. I would have to go back and look at tape to see if this even makes any sense. But during game 2, when you have redacted on the table towards the end of game, you have one counter on redacted. I think he's on check for second key. Was there any consideration given to it's a little bit weird, but was there any consideration given just putting yourself on an auto 3-turn clock and calling Logos, even if you play no cards, call Logos pass?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was definitely tempting. I believe at the time he had Proliferator out and had either just archived Mars first or did it the next turn.
Right.
So with the Mars first, he would be able to get to the 3rd key before.
Right, because the critical analysis, if he forges and then immediately gets to check, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But if for some reason he couldn't do that, but I wasn't I didn't memorize the content of the archives at the
Yeah.
time, so you were at the table, you were paying attention. I definitely trust your judgment. But that was the one other question I had from a strategic perspective. Otherwise, the final was very clean throughout. With with all the play and everything.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the tape as well to remember the exact setup, but I believe I did the math, and he would have been able to make his third before I could get the fourth counter on redacted.
Right.
And the one drawback of the deck is it doesn't have too much amber control.
Yeah, and the amber control is also usually requiring you to have stuff on board.
Yep.
Right. Vince, shouting out to his mom. So like the double Bordens have to be on board, obviously, and like the take hostages can be a big hit. It's harder against this deck with a Brahmin
Yeah,
on board.
absolutely. Other than that, I have double Mars needs amber, but that's all the amber control I've got. Which in a Brahmin matchup, Mars needs amber usually hits pretty hard.
It does,
Like,
right? Because they run stuff into they want to clear board.
Sure. At the very end there, if I was able to hit my Carpet Floxen with the Generosity, I think I could have survived another turn, but I think he still would have had it. Because I would have he had 5 creatures out, so I would have put 10 of his Amber on his own dudes.
Yeah, no, that would have.
Because I had both Mars needs Ambers.
Yeah, that would have been a thing for sure. I mean, there are a lot of different ways and permutations in the cards coming out in different fashions. So for sure. So tell us about your future plans. What are you planning on attending any of the announced fall tours coming up?
What are the announced fall tours coming up?
Oh, okay. Well, so there's Indianapolis
Okay.
is coming up at the beginning of next month.
Yep.
That's the sealed release
Know about that one.
for Worlds Collide. There is PAX is coming at the end of December.
That's right.
Which is a double vault tour, some form of sealed, some form of Archon, and New York at the beginning of
Albany, correct?
Albany, yes, at the beginning of January, and I'm sure they're going to announce more stuff. And if you don't know, that's totally fine. I was just curious if you.
Yeah, no current plans.
Okay.
I do know we're not going to Indy because we are supporting our local game stores for the release of Worlds Collide.
Well, that's cool, and you should everyone definitely, for sure, anyone who's not going to Indy, or even instead of Indy, definitely go out and support your local gaming stores. It's how we grow the game, and that's super important. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of what our team is all about. We're just
Tell us about your team a little.
Yeah, so we're just we're Archons of Atlanta, from Atlanta, obviously, and we're just a group of competitive players trying to grow the community and do great things for Keyforge.
That's awesome, and I know you had several players here. You unfortunately had the intra-team fight in one of the quarterfinals, right?
Yep.
You faced off against.
I had to knock out my boy Logan over
That's
there.
right. Unfortunately.
So hoping to see him in the finals, but
Yeah.
the bracket just didn't work out.
Sometimes it doesn't. Let me tell you, having had that experience before, I totally understand. And I believe Trevor was also here.
Yes,
and
Trevor May is also here, previous Vault Tour winner.
There he
There he
is.
is.
On command. Say his name and he shall appear. So yeah, you guys had a very good showing this week. Put 2 people in day 2.
Yeah, we're all pretty happy with our performances.
Tell me, was there any particular stream that you watched that helped you?
Yes,
It's amazing how he just appears and asks these questions.
follow and subscribe to Tabletop Royale.
That's right. We've had a number.
Streaming, what days of the week?
Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday.
All right.
At 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Hashtag sponsor us, you cowards.
That's right. That's right. So very cool. So anyone else you wanted to give a shout out to, or?
Just our team members back home who couldn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely. I'm speaking from experience. I know I'm better because I have a group of friends that surround me, and I would imagine that you're made much better as a player by having the experience, the people, the strategic minds to bounce ideas off of. So it's really cool. I think
Absolutely. You learn the most playing against people who are better than you, and I do that a couple times a week.
You're better than me. Where were we?
Right. Some debate about what the practical application of that is in group, but that's no question the theory is correct on that. Well, I want to congratulate you very much for having an amazing showing at this fall tour. Very well done. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Eric, I want to thank you real quick.
Of course, man.
Commentating.
You got it, man.
Hanging out on
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. Anytime. I'm more than happy. You guys are great.
Streaming, you're more than
I
welcome.
love casting with you guys.
Yep.
But I'll turn it back over to you.
I'm gonna get Nathan in here.
Yeah, I'll get Nathan in here to talk about his conquest. And I'm calling this the Royale with Cheese Vault.
It is
A
the
little
Royale
Pulp
with
Fiction
Cheese. It's
reference. So, thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you again.
team picture with the
Because I would have had to have fought
Okay.
off the board with like the rest of the problems.
Nathan's going to talk about his game somewhere. He might as well talk at the screen.
Hello. How's it going? I'm still coming down for that game.
Yeah, it was insane.
the
I was
power
just
of
like sweating.
Snufflegator.
The Snufflegator shirt did propel the
Power
victory, I think. Yeah, we passed 45,000 views. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Thanks for watching the stream, everybody.
Yeah.
We
I'll
didn't know
probably
how
do-
it was going to go.
Yeah, I'll probably do a more like detailed breakdown tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about it much
when
more
I
over the
don't
course of
have
the next month.
My brain's running out of my ears.
Yeah.
From just decompressing from that game.
And we have
Alex,
to drive back.
Yeah, we got to drive back. But Alex played. I played in the finals. I feel like I played people who like got there, like earned.
Oh,
their spot
absolutely,
there,
yeah.
And my deck is crazy. But
You had to earn those victories.
but I found myself in games where it would have been like really easy to just think that my deck could carry me
Oh, no.
and be wrong.
Yep, absolutely.
So I think my loss to you really kind of taught me that, where it was like I can easily misplay this deck and lose with it.
And to
yeah.
George too, right? Because George was like, you had to really figure out what he was doing, and
Yeah.
even then it was hard to
Yeah.
beat him because I knew what he was going to do in my top 8 match against him,
And
I still couldn't.
Yeah.
I still couldn't stop it.
I think that game was recorded too.
Yeah,
So,
it
but
was.
yeah, that stuff was actually like that game was bonkers. And honestly, like George played in a way that was completely unique.
And it turned off a lot of answers that you had too, like Hypnotic
Yeah.
Command.
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna say answers in the environment.
Yeah.
So it's like really easy to understand how George got where he did.
Yeah, because you don't have Groke, you don't have Mind Warper.
Yeah.
Hit all the
So-
Mars answers.
Thank you, a vampire polite talk. Appreciate that.
And thanks, Eric, again,
Yeah.
once again for being our commentator, and
Yeah,
for,
Eric,
Zach in first
Eric
round.
crushed it.
Yeah, Eric did a great
from
job.
From what I've heard. So we appreciate that Twitch Prime there, Erdan.
Much appreciated. So guys, we're gonna probably close it
yeah.
out because we have to drive a long
Yep.
way. home.
We got some hours in a car now.
Yeah.
So
I have to
appreciate-
listen to Nathan talk about how
Yeah,
he
oh,
won
yeah.
for
Guess
6
what?
hours straight.
Guess who gets
It's
to
gonna be
hold that
great.
over Justin's head forever.
It's gonna be so fun. I cannot wait. But I was the only loss he had.
Yeah, and Justin was the only person who
I
beat
think
me.
that makes me the champion.
He's the only person. The only person that beat me in a round. I lost
Yes.
games.
You lost games.
I lost games, but I thought my deck was going to be stupid in a 2 of 3 because just
I would agree.
you have so
I
many
couldn't
chances.
beat you in a 2 or 3. I don't think.
You have so many chances to get one of your degenerate combos, yeah. So
Okay,
there we go.
we're
That's
gonna
it.
we're gonna end it here.
Flex those Brobnar, flex those Snufflegators.
Yes, flex
So,
all your Snufflegators and 200
the deck
IQs.
name is not scanned yet.
We
but
will-
It was Kant, like the philosopher Kant.
You're gonna say the name of the deck and no one's gonna know how to type it.
Correct.
Okay.
Kantphage. The
What is the
lady-
color? What's the color of the?
It was
winner?
green.
It was green. Okay.
I believe. Let me grab it. I'll be right
He
back.
doesn't even know what color it is. That's embarrassing. I'll type the name in once you like.
Yeah. I'll scan it so that people can check it later. I can scan it now, right? Like I think.
I think it's gonna now.
All right, I'll scan it now. The Lady General of the Keep. The joke, of course, is any hand that's got Martian generosity in it is in fact a keep.
We were actually arguing for Alex's game that he should have mulliganed for redacted